everyone, welcome back to another episode of DNR Explorers. Where am I today? So I'm at a little site not far from Stonehenge, and these are the chalk springs of Blickmead. So it's been there was continuous habitation here from around 8,000 BCE to 4,000 BCE, and they think this may have been some of the reason why people came to Stonehenge as well. So this is quite an interesting site, quite an eerie place, got a funny vibe about it, but the springs, I'll show you, the water's very clear and the springs are amazing. So without further ado, I'll give you a little walk around. So as you can see, the water here is so clear, very, very clear. And the deeper parts you can see over there, that's where the springs bubble up. And there's lots of them. There's one quite close to the bank here we can probably get a view of. If I step over here and try not to drop my phone in the river. Yeah, you can see some of the bubbles rising up from the springs there. So, an interesting fact, if you get one of the stones from out here near the springs, when you take them out they turn a red colour, and I think somebody's put some stones in there, look, probably going to do exactly that, take them out and they should turn a red colour, which I think may have seemed quite magical to the people back then in those times, sort of 8,000 BCE, 4,000 BCE, and maybe part of the reason why people came here, because they saw it as like a magical place. But yeah, you can very clearly see all the springs and that there. So all the woodwork around it. We'll just have a little walk a bit further around. Let's go back up this way. I will just say this is not a site that's open to the public. I won't divulge exactly where this is, but it is just a very, very interesting site. So let's come up round. It is reputed that there is a wooden boat in here somewhere that's buried in the mud. I'm not sure how much truth there is in that. I know there's been quite extensive archaeological studies and bits and pieces done on this place. But yeah, there's supposed to be a boat out here somewhere buried into the mud, so who knows what this was like all those years ago. It was big enough to have a boat on it. Obviously the River Avon is just behind us there. The Avon runs just behind us. You can't really see it, but just behind the trees there is the River Avon, and this is like a little tributary off to the side of it where all these springs bubble up. Quite an incredible place. Let's walk along a bit further. There's a good one there. You can. The water seems quite sort of clear and inviting, but if you step into this, you'll find that that silt, well, the silt in some places is probably 5, 6, maybe even deeper than that, 7 foot deep. And in the actual springs, wow, they're sort of bottomless. Don't know how deep they go really. I've seen people when they've been looking around here, and if you poke a stick or something into them, the stick will just go down and disappear for farther than you can push it. So yeah, you wouldn't want to be falling into there, that's for sure. Looks quite nice, but not very deep, but it is very, very deep in those spring areas. We'll just have a little walk a bit further along here. This is sort of moving in towards the river now. See, that's most of the springs. I think there's one more spring just in there. Yeah, one more spring over the back there, quite a deep one. But yeah, very interesting place. So, just have a little walk back around. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, what these sites would have been like all those thousands of years ago. Because people were living here, there would obviously have been thousands, well, hundreds if not thousands of people coming through here, coming to Stonehenge. Back in the time of the Romans, we're not far from Vespasian's camp, which is just up on the hill up behind us here, and that's quite an important place as well in history. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the little look round at Blickmead. It's only a short little video today, but yeah, something different, an interesting little explore. Let's say I'm lucky enough to be able to get access down here. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon again on DNR Explores. Take care all, bye. So here's a little bit of history to go with the video on Blickmead. So Blickmead is basically a chalk spring in Wiltshire, England. It's separated from the River Avon from the northwest edge of the town of Amesbury. It's close to an Iron Age hill fort known as Vespasian's Camp, and it's about a mile east of the Stonehenge ancient monument. Evidence from archaeology excavations at the site since 2005 indicates that there was continuous human habitation from around 8000 BCE to 4000 BCE. 35,000 worked flints and 24,000 animal bones, some cooked, mostly from oryxen, which I think are a type of sort of a deer type animal, have been found at this site. There is also the remains of a pit dwelling. A few finds have been used to radiocarbon date the time of the settlement. It is thought that the site would have been an attractive place to camp or dwell, with a spring that never freezes over. The issuing water has a constant temperature of around 11 degrees C or 52 Fahrenheit. So, oxygen isotope analysis of one of the bones of a single canine premolar found at Blickmead has been interpreted as evidence that people have travelled a long way to get there, and that this was associated with its proximity to Stonehenge. However, this is inconclusive, as while the isotope values are not consistent with the dog originating at the site, it represents the only example of a dietary isotope profile for a tooth from the Mesolithic period from any species. A rare algae called Hildenbrandia lives in the spring and causes stones taken from it to turn bright red on exposure to air in a matter of hours. In Mesolithic times, this could have given the place a magical significance. Its closeness to Stonehenge has led to the theories that it is the attraction that first brought hunters to the area, with the colour-changing stones giving the place a high spiritual significance. Okay, hope you found the little video interesting. Hope you've enjoyed the history bit. See you all again soon.
Bye.